Hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today I have you. The future of physical is important to fandom. So I was going through Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, one day, and I came across this post by Kino Lorber. Shout out Kino Lorber. I love you guys' work. They were tweeting out this story from the BBC, an article about the resurgence of physical media and everything, and its importance, and who is actually how this resurgence is actually coming about. What does that mean? And I thought the article was really fascinating, what little I read of it at the beginning. But we're not going to go through the whole article because the whole article is very long, but I will put a link in the description down below if you guys want to check out the whole article. There is a section that I really want to go over with you guys and talk about it. So we're going to go over that, but I will show you right here's the article. It says Oppenheimer and the resurgence of Blu-ray and DVDs, how to stop your films and music from disappearing. The first part of this article, which is why I'm not going to go over this, is it talks about Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer, The Cells, Guillermo del Toro, which I actually covered pretty much everything. The first half of this article talks about in a couple videos here on the channel. You can find them. They're in the playlist FanZcene Musings. They're probably the most popular videos within that playlist. But yeah, basically it covers over it and all that. But this is right here. This is where I want to get to. Because first I want to get to, because the physical media, the sales are not as strong as they once were, but we're going to get into the resurgence and how that's still okay. Because right here it says DVDs had their heyday in the early 2000s. The biggest selling DVD of all time, Finding Nemo, was released in 2003 and shifted 38,800,000 copies. For Finding Nemo, I don't even like Finding Nemo that much. It's crazy. But sales have been on a steady decline since the mid-2000s. According to CNBC, U.S. DVD sales declined by 86% between 2006 and 2019. Figures from the Motion Picture Association show that the international physical home entertainment market fell 16% from 2020 to 2021, while the digital market grew by 24%, which we all know. And in 2021, physical media accounted for just 8% of the U.S. entertainment market, or $2.8 billion. Yeah, it has slipped, but it's still $2.8 billion. That's nothing to sneeze at, my friends. Yeah, this is what we're going to get to, and I'm sure I'm going to be saying a bunch of time. Physical media is no longer mainstream. But we'll get to all this here in a minute for some more of it. It says, U.S. retailer Best Buy is phasing out DVD sales in early 2024, while Netflix finally closed their DVD rental service in 2023. I got something to say about this Best Buy crap, all right? Let's all be honest about Best Buy. They stopped caring about physical media years ago. All right. I mean, people that shop there, you know it. I know it. They barely set anything out. And from what we've come to learn, it was only 5% of sales, physical media sales at all, period, from them. And you know what? There are other places to buy physical media other than Best Buy. I see so many people saying like, oh, Best Buy's stopping selling physical media. Physical media is dead. Where am I going to buy my physical media? Try Diabolic DVD, try Orbit DVD, try local thrift stores, try Walmart, because Walmart is really starting to pick up the slack. Try other local stores and stuff out there. They're still out there. Yes, a lot of it has moved online. You can go to, Shout Factory, Kino Lorber, Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, Severin. A lot of it's moved online, and I know that frustrates people, but there are still actual brick and mortar stores that sell it, even though a lot of them have started to phase it out. But Walmart is actually, it looks like, starting to pick up the slack. But try like those are independent retailers. They have some great physical media. Best Buy wasn't the be all end all, people. It was not the be all end all. So let's go down to where it says keeping it real. This is the section I really wanted to go through because I think this has a lot of great nuggets in it. And it says, and yet, not only are there many people hanging onto their existing DVDs, there's a committed number still buying them. Home entertainment is resurgent globally, and the factors of influence can change each year through new tech, pandemics, pipeline, and slate. Louise Keane Wood from the British Association for Screen Entertainment tells BBC Culture. But the future of physical is important to fandom, especially for 4K and Blu-ray. Collectors and film and TV fans love the ownership and event of physical. It's not just older generations. This is what surprised me. It's not just older generations clinging onto the past either. According to the MPAA, it's those aged 25 to 39 who are most likely to watch DVDs. that surprised me. That it skews a little younger than I anticipated. I can see like the 35 to 39, but 25-year-olds and stuff. That's I was a little surprised about the young factor. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm 40 years old, right? I've been collecting physical media since I was a kid from VHS, and I've even gone back to start collecting VHS now. So it's like ingrained in me. I love physical media. I love having that physical copy. But I find it interesting that like the younger generation, well, not as young as I anticipated, but younger than I thought, are starting to go to DVDs and stuff. And this continues with, there will always be fans who want to own everything they can by a favorite artist or director, but another factor is increasing fear over how much, or rather how little control we have over the content we stream. Streamers, listen up to this. With so many streaming services at our fingertips, it's easy to assume that we can watch any film we want, anytime we want, subscription depending. Wrong, 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 wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong, and I'm sure they'll get to it. But there are many films that don't seem to exist online. Physical media, baby. In the UK, you won't find David Lynch's seminal debut, Eraserhead, available to stream. Actually, I did come across another article, but before we get to the rest of here, from the UK, that said that there was like a lot of classic movies that you cannot actually stream in the UK. And I think we went through the list over on the 4K for You once on Tom Midnight's Ed's channel, After Dark channel, and some of those movies actually aren't streamed because we went through the list. I wish I had the article. I can't remember, but some of those can't be streamed in America as well too. So Eraserhead can't be streamed over there, and these movies here that they're going to talk about. But I mean, people have these fans. It says in the U.S., one New York Times writer recently told of her difficulty in trying to watch her favorite childhood movie, Britney Spears' Crossroads. 90s pop fans wanting to indulge in a spot of nostalgia with Spice World will struggle to find it in the U.S. as well. So you can't find Britney Spears and Crossroads and Spice World in the U.S. streaming anywhere. Once again, I mean, those aren't movies for me, but I know, a lot of people like those. They want those. Once again, a DVD or a Blu-ray is impertinent in this situation. That's why it's very important. Of course, we have Eraserhead here and some physical media being shown right there. I love physical media. And this is where I wanted to finish it off here with the article. It says, even films that are available could disappear at any moment as streaming services reevaluate their content libraries or remove titles due to licensing agreements. This is what I'm talking about. And we just saw that Paramount, which I just covered in, has licensed out the Star Trek movies, the originals, to HBO Max, and who knows how long they'll play on HBO Max, and when they're done over there, if they'll actually come back to Paramount, because Paramount Plus is struggling, so it may not even exist in a couple years. It may be folded into HBO Max because Warner Brothers is planning on buying Paramount. So it's and then we got tons like Disney that won't license Jack out, and there's so many movies that are being pulled down and taken down and stuff like that. And this continues with, and when you pay to purchase a digital version of a film or TV show as opposed to renting it or watching it via a streaming subscription, you still do not own it. Exactly, 100%. You do not own digital. You will never own digital. I actually had somebody in my comments section the other day of a video I did that said, why would I want to go back to physical, or why should we go back to physical? You can buy all these movies digitally on Google TV. And I'm like, did you even watch the video? I'm like, you do not own digital. I know in some cases, some people told me, I've never had anything removed from my digital library. That's awesome. But you know what? It can happen at any moment because you don't own digital. You will never own digital. It will not be yours ever, ever. I mean, I don't mind digital to rent movies, to rent a movie to test drive it before I see if I want to buy a physical copy. Even then, I'm a little iffy with that because I just prefer physical myself. But that's one of our last vestiges. I missed the video store. And then this continues with, you've just purchased a license to watch it with the digital, that is. And of course, when everything is on the cloud, we are at the mercy of a stable internet connection. Yes, that is something else other people always forget. Look, I understand you're not going to take a 40, 50 Blu-rays, DVDs with you onto the bus or to a vacation to watch, your movies, or your Blu-ray player, DVD player in your book bag and watch it on the bus or whatever. I don't live in a city, so I don't have that thing. But I understand, watching it on your phone, which I can't. I can't do that. But I can understand if you want to watch something digitally or whatever. I get that. I get it. But you may not be able to watch that. The internet connection is never reliable. You cannot always depend on free public Wi-Fi. You can't depend on your Wi-Fi at home a lot of times. Yeah, Wi-Fi is great. When it holds up, it's great. It's great. It's fun. Internet's great. But it's not always the case. And sometimes if it goes down, or if you live in a rural area or country area, trust me, there's the Wi-Fi signals or your internet signals that you get aren't necessarily always the best. So it's always great to have a physical copy, in my opinion. And you just never know with internet. It was a problem that the film collector Lucas Hinkle kept encountering. I realized that many of the movies I enjoy are not really available on streaming services, or they disappear frequently. So the only way to see them reliably is through physical media. 100%, dude. He tells BBC Culture. So Hinkle decided to set up his own boutique home entertainment distribution label, Celluloid Dreams. That is awesome. He, collector who actually set up an own boutique label. As a collector myself, it has a lot to do with the desire to own something tangible, says Hinkle, explaining his own commitment to physical media. More importantly, it guarantees access. I can pull out a 20-year-old DVD and play it and at any time, any day I want. No restrictions, no extra fees, no subscriptions. Just insert the disc and press play. Seriously, what's not to like about that? And no streaming services can match the quality of a presentation coming from a physical medium. 100%. That is where I wanted to end on that, because the rest of our article continues with basically people having anxiety about losing everything. It's which people do, and maybe I should start a TikTok to influence, because I noticed that said influence people younger. I don't really like TikTok, but it seems like that's a good place to influence. I don't like being an influencer as well, but I 100% agree with that nothing beats taking a movie off your shelf, whether it be a VHS, Laserdisc, CED, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, and just popping it in your player and sitting back and watching it, and knowing that the sound, the audio, especially with Blu-ray and 4K, that the sound, the picture presentation, the control that you have over it is there for you. You don't have to rely on whatever sound they're feeding through the streaming service. You don't have to rely on whether, is my internet going to stay up or not? Or, maybe the movie I want to see just doesn't happen to be on one of the 10,000th streaming services out there. That's why I say this 100 times. I think I've said this in almost every video I've ever made here lately anyways, because it seems like physical media is like one of the hottest topics right now on YouTube, which is funny because I'm making videos for you to stream on YouTube talking about physical media. I do find that funny, but it's a great way to get my message across. And you should always buy your favorite movies on physical media, your favorite books on physical media, your favorite music on physical media, or your favorite toys, whatever, or cards, whatever, physical media wise, video games, physical media wise. Because physical media is so much more, like I've said before, than just movies. It's vastly important. I know that we can get hung up on our possessions, and I admit I get hung up on my possessions as well. I know, but it just seems like in today's day and age, it's like we're losing our possessions, and that just seems really weird. But we also got to make sure we don't let our possessions overtake us. To get a little thing, because I love physical media. I think it's important to buy it if you're into entertainment and you want it, but also we can't let our possessions overtake us physically or digitally. Just to get a little, out there, because I can get a little obsessive and possessive with my stuff, and I do a lot of these videos talking about this. And sometimes I think to myself, some people out there just might think I'm a little crazy or too obsessive or oppressive or whatever with my physical media and stuff. And not everybody buys like I buy. Sometimes I do forget that not everybody likes or buys what I buy. Sometimes we talk a lot about movies that we've seen 100 times, and everybody talks about those, and then you realize that once again it's not mainstream. It's not mainstream anymore, and sometimes it's a cult phenomenon and resurgence for a reason. Uh, I don't know. I kind of went off a little tangent there, whatever. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. Are you guys seeing a resurgence in physical media amongst that's amongst your peers and stuff? Because I do see that a lot. I've heard a lot, and trust me, it's not mainstream anymore. Like they said, it's dropped, but it's still a $2.8 billion industry. But do you see it amongst people? The young people out there watching this video? Because I do tend to skew older. So if anybody is younger out there watching this video, have you guys started to buy physical media? Let me know all that in the comment section down below. And if you liked what you saw here, maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing and hitting that bell for notification. That would be awesome if I earned your guys' subscription, or possibly share the video out for everybody to see, or join and become a channel member, because that would be awesome if I earned your channel membership, because it helps out my channel immensely. Thank you and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you all for being channel members here, for all of your support, and for always having my back. To everybody watching, whether you like me, hated me, or liked this video, or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long. Wherever you all are, please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Always support physical media. It truly is the superior format. Godspeed.